There's a story that says the people who built this place were killed, so the secret would remain buried forever. This is the tomb complex of the first emperor of China, the Terracotta Army, built around 2,300 years ago. At one point, people even suggested this place should become one of the 7 wonders of the world. Today, many simply call it the 8th wonder. 700,000 workers spent years building more than 8,000 clay soldiers, commanders, and horses. All of them were created to guard an emperor, an eternal army built to protect the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the ruler who unified China. This is not just a museum. This is a dream built for eternity. And when you walk through here, you genuinely feel as if thousands of eyes from history are staring back at you. The site was discovered accidentally in 1974 when several farmers were digging a well. Imagine that moment. A farmer strikes the ground with a shovel, and suddenly the head of a clay soldier appears beneath the soil, a discovery that shocked the world. There's a story saying the craftsmen who created all of this were killed, so the secret could never be revealed. And in a way, that's exactly what happened. For more than 2,000 years, everything remained hidden underground until finally the secret was uncovered. One of the most fascinating details here is that every single figure has a different face. No two are exactly alike. Their expressions, hairstyles, details, even the shape of their features, everything is different. None of them feel copied. It's almost as if they were inspired by real people. Their size is realistic too. Most of them stand around 1.8 meters tall, and traces of the original paint can still be seen on some of the soldiers. When you look closely, it honestly feels less like standing in front of statues and more like standing in front of actual people. What's really interesting is that many of these figures originally had strong colors when they were excavated, but the moment they came into contact with oxygen, most of the paint disappeared almost immediately. The entire site is made up of 3 different pits, each with its own atmosphere. This is the full map of the complex. As you enter, the main pit, pit number 1, is directly ahead. Beside it is pit number 2. And over here is pit number 3. Pit 1 is the largest and most famous. Endless rows of soldiers standing in perfect formation. Just in this hall alone, there are around 6,000 soldiers, and altogether, the entire complex contains close to 8,000 figures. Pit 2 is smaller, but far more diverse. Cavalry, archers, war chariots. It gives you a more complete image of what the Imperial Army looked like. And then we arrive at Pit 3. Although much smaller, it's considered extremely important. There are only around 68 figures here, and some of them are even missing their heads. This area appears to have been the command center of the army. The way the figures are positioned makes it feel as though they're receiving orders or discussing strategy. Each pit has a completely different feeling. The first is pure scale, the second is movement and variety, and the third feels like authority. This is what the military headquarters of the army may have looked like. One interesting thing they've created here is a perspective photography area. You pay a small fee, use your own camera, and thanks to the perspective setup, it looks as though you're standing inside the Terracotta Army itself. Beside the pits, there's also an exhibition area with many additional details and artifacts. And along the route toward the exit, there's a huge area filled with restaurants, shops, and visitor facilities. It's full of vendors trying to sell something. Recorded voices playing everywhere, calls from shops and stands echoing through the space, At some point, you almost get lost inside all the noise. And not too far from the Terracotta Army itself, there's a historic hill believed to contain the actual tomb of the emperor. This is the free shuttle service that takes visitors to the emperor's mausoleum. We took the shuttle bus here to visit the tomb complex, a place dating back around 2,300 years. Along the path toward the tomb entrance, they've also created decorative spaces inspired by the terracotta soldiers. And honestly, the atmosphere here strangely reminds me of several famous ancient sites around the world all at once.
Qin Shi Huang.
The feeling is somewhere between an archaeological site and a legendary historical monument. Behind these barriers lies the actual tomb of the emperor, a tomb that has still never been opened. Because archaeologists believe modern technology may not yet be advanced enough to preserve what could be inside. So for now, they've decided to leave it untouched until humanity becomes more capable. Using advanced technology such as laser scanning and remote analysis, researchers have learned parts of the secret, but nobody has ever entered the heart of the tomb itself. That raised section in the distance marks the highest part of the mound, the area believed to contain the burial chamber. There's also a museum nearby beside the emperor's tomb hill. Inside, you can see bronze chariots, horses, and many other objects, masterpieces that remain astonishing even after centuries. Just think about it. An entire army created for the afterlife, now standing in front of us, thousands of years later. For me, this was one of the most fascinating places I saw not only in China, but anywhere in the world. An army built to last forever, and after more than 2,300 years, it still stands here in silence, guarding its emperor.